everybody. Apparently I jumped the gun and I am actually in the right event page. My phone and connection, I guess, are slow. I'm not really sure. I'm still not seeing everybody, so if you're on here, would you give me a like or something? And we'll get going in just a second. Let's see. I'm so excited y'all are on here. If anybody's on here. Nicole, Katie Carter. Oh, there's Sabrina. Hi, Sabrina. Okay, it may just take a second for people to get on here. I'm going to try to adjust my light. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Christina. Hello. Hello. If you hear my toddler screaming, it's because it's bedtime and she's still not asleep yet. So, bear with me. I'm not abusing her. She is supposed to be sleeping. She's just not. I'm excited y'all are jumping on here. I'm really nervous that I'm closing because I feel like I've had two great people to follow. I do have my wine with me, like I promised. I don't ever drink wine, so I also have water in case I get cotton mouth because that's tins and coffee that I had earlier. I'm just a liquid diets kind of girl. So I'm going to wait just a couple more seconds and let a few more of you jump on, and then we will get started. My 4 girls are still up too. I'm glad I'm not the only one. My child literally does not go down for her second nap until 4 o'clock, and sometimes we'll sleep until 8 or 9. Or not 8 or 9, sorry, 7. And then it's complete hell trying to get her to bed by 9 o'clock. Just one more second, let everybody jump on, and then we will get started. My face is probably going to get red because I don't drink very much, and so this is a new thing for me. I'm actually going to turn my Facebook off so I can't see because it's a huge distraction, and if anybody knows me, I have major ADD. Okay, so I'm going to get started, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey and where I came from because we're all so different, and it's exciting to hear where we have come from, where we're at. Christina, I'll answer your question about how long I've been with Beachbody in just a second. I don't know if you can see behind me, but this is also my workshop and where I do all of my tank top stuff. Now Hudson has snuck back in here. How funny. Okay, I'll wait for it. I'm a little fast. Let me know if I'm unfrozen, and then I'll get started. Mine tends to cut out. I have the worst cell reception in my house than I do anywhere in the United States, and I don't understand that. But, whatever. Okay, so my name is Katie McGilvery, aka Zipper, and I will explain that story. Somebody remind me to explain that, and I will explain about how that all came to be. That's also how Katie Carter got the nickname The Heat. Tiffany Thrasher, Siegfried has the nickname Tiny Tiffany, and then Tiffany Bell has the name Southern Belle. Long road trip, super fun. But my name's Katie McGilvery. I have been a Beachbody coach for a little over a year. I started last summer, July 27th. And this year was my 1-year journey to awesomeness. When I started coaching, I had no idea what being a coach meant. I actually started coaching in January. I was signed up as a discount coach and had no idea. I knew that there was Shakeology coming out of my credit card account every month, but I didn't realize what that meant. I didn't understand anything because I myself had not really taken the journey to health and fitness. I was newly postpartum with my daughter. I think she was 4 months old when I ordered my 21-day fix kit. And my husband told me, he said, that's going to sit in the box just like the Zumba did. And let me just tell you, I'm not rhythmically inclined. So yes, Zumba sat in a box for a really long time. I think I ended up giving that away to someone. But I didn't understand the containers. I didn't want to try to learn the containers. It was one of those late night purchases things from a friend. And I really didn't have any interest. I wanted to lose weight, but I wasn't at that point. And I know some of y'all have been there where you want to see a change, but you're not ready to put that foot forward. That's where I was at. I was miserable with myself. I would run past mirrors in my house. I wore oversized yoga pants. I wore my husband's t-shirts. When I got pregnant with Reese, my chesticles grew from an A to a triple D and I did not adjust well to the changes that my body made. I have always been the same size and have fought to keep that same size, even dealing with an eating disorder for much of high school and into college when I was playing volleyball, because I was so afraid of gaining weight. I would fat shame people, and I'm not proud of this, so don't judge me, but I would fat shame people quietly, and I would be like, why can't they get it together? Why do they, why are they so unhealthy yet they're still eating crap? I was basically starving myself and working out hours and hours and hours a day, and had no idea, how hard it is sometimes to lose weight, because there's a lot more that goes into it. After quitting volleyball in college, I was diagnosed with endometriosis, which is actually where all of this began. Through doing some research, I found out that nutrition is a huge part of what controls endometriosis, what controls a lot of issues with your hormones. And I started to dig into that. I started to work with a nutritionist, and I started to figure out how my body breaks things down and why I was struggling so bad with this. We got pregnant with Reese, which is a complete miracle, and she's our little angel baby, our little miracle baby. And I had a very healthy pregnancy, but because I was told for so long I would never get pregnant, I was scared. I was scared to work out. I was scared that by eating good, I would end up doing something to her, and I was just scared. I let my fear control the majority of my actions. I ended up gaining 65 pounds, maybe 67, and I would like to say a lot of that was baby. I mean, she was 8 pounds, 6 ounces, but a lot of that was just my body stretching and growing, and I did not see pregnancy as beautiful. I was blessed to have a baby, but I did not see anything about it as beautiful. I was extremely fortunate that I didn't have stretch marks on my stomach. I did get them on my hips, and I have them all over my boobs, but there was just nothing about it mentally that I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I loved feeling her grow, and I loved, feeling her kicks and stuff, but physically I could not stand to look at myself. I would have emotional breakdowns randomly while we were in public, just because I didn't like to look at myself and see something different. Post Reese, she was born, and 2 weeks later my husband went back to work. I know it's a long story, stick with me. My husband went back to work, and I went through nursing school. I already knew that I was going through postpartum. Hard, like really hard. My husband was having to call people to see if they would come check on me, to see if I was feeding Reese. I was blessed with a very abundant milk supply, so I was stuck at the pump like 24/7. I would pump almost a gallon of milk a day, so I really never left my pump station, and I was just tired. So many hormones going on, but I knew that I was going through postpartum depression. Went and saw the doctor. Again, didn't want to admit that I had an issue. So I bought the 21-day fix on my credit card. Huge fight between me and my husband. Definitely did not tell him that I signed up as a coach, because I didn't even really know what that meant. It sat there. I tried Shakeology, but because I was nursing, a lot of the supplements and stuff that are in there are wonderful, but if you introduce it all at one time, it can be really hard on babies, and a lot of it we found traveled through milk, and Reese started to break out, so I was just like, no, not doing that. Well, I had boxes of this stuff like stacked up, and I was like giving it away. Never really paid attention to my credit card bill until now. But I just felt so lost. And we were in Goliad, Texas when I met my now coach, Jennifer. And I had started doing the workouts in May, and I had started to see some results, but I still wasn't seeing. My first round, I only lost 2 pounds, and I was killing myself. I was having moments where I would cry and where I would want to throw my DVDs against the wall, which, by the way, if you scratch your DVDs, Beachbody will send you a new set. But I was just at that point where it was make it or break it. And so I was like, I've got to understand this stupid container system. I have got to figure it out. And so I did. I sat down, I got on Pinterest, I got on YouTube. I'm a very self-sufficient person, and I figured it out, and I was like, this is the way I'm going to do it. The next round, I lost 18 pounds and like 27 inches. Unreal. And if you're sitting on here, you're staring at this right now, and you have completed the program, but you have not submitted your results, please, please, please go to the beachbodychallenge.com, submit your results, get your free t-shirt, because that's like the biggest victory ever. And I'll explain more about that in a second. But I submitted my results, got my free t-shirt, and I got an email saying that I was entered into the Beachbody Challenge competition. Had no idea really what it was. Then I got an email from corporate saying that they had chosen my story and they wanted to do like a little interview to get to know more about me. Turns out my story actually won, and I won $500. I'm a nobody from nowhere, Texas. I live in Haslett, but I never imagined that would happen. Like, of course, like that was like 4 months after I submitted my results. Didn't think anything about it. Sally, submit your results. Do it, girl. But I didn't think anything about it. Just submitted my results, moved on, and continued to work on myself. Well, at this point, I had started to share my journey a little bit on my Instagram. And if you've been following me on Instagram, you've seen this for a long time, about a year now. And I started to get some awesome feedback from people. And when my coach approached me and she was like, you are already doing everything that a coach does. You're being consistent. Why not just be a coach? And I was like, well, I kind of think that I am a coach, but I'm not really sure. So then I got to figure out what being a real coach is. And let me tell you that when I started coaching, I was not at my goal weight. I was not at my goal health. I was still struggling with cravings. But what I had noticed was that mentally, I started to love myself. One thing that we do as coaches is we really engage in personal development. And it doesn't have to be woo-saw, whatever books. For me, that was getting back into my Bible. For me, that was spending time in my devotional each morning before I got my workout in. And that was something that I had kind of lost while I was struggling with postpartum depression, because y'all, getting out of bed was a struggle. Not only that, but I had started back to college the January right after Reese was born. So I felt overwhelmed. And so I started each morning by doing my devotional. And then when I would work out, I would listen to podcasts. And I would plug into that. And I started to grow exponentially. Like, I started to believe in myself. I started to love myself. I started to regain a lot of my self-confidence and my sass that I had lost during my pregnancy and post-pregnancy. I was mean during my pregnancy, but not like sassy, And I started to gain some of that back. And I started to feel like I could do this. Like, I could really impact people, not only for the cause of Christ through my testimony, but I could also do so much because I have so much history with nutrition, and I have so much background in so many things that affect women that I just never thought could be used for anything. I just thought those were just stories that I was telling myself, and those were just things that everyone goes through. And there are a lot of people that do go through those things, but there's not a lot of people that share about them. And I'll be honest with you, that was the one thing that really scared me. Not sharing pictures of Reese on Facebook, because I share, you see my child all the time. A lot of people tell, my husband that she's grown up on Facebook, and she has, because we have a lot of family that don't get to see her. And so that used to offend me, but now it's like, yeah, she does. She is a mama's girl, and I'm teaching her how to be a mini boss. But what we have learned, what I have learned personally is that Beachbody is not a destination. It is a journey. It has given me a platform. It has given me hope. It has given me confidence. It has given me the ability to share openly and not be scared about what I'm doing as a coach. Yes, it's an MLM business. No, it is not a pyramid scheme, because when you buy something from me, you're getting something in return. You have me as a coach for the rest of your life. You can't get rid of me. You're going to be invited into my home. You're going to be invited to meet my family. You're going to go out for coffee with me. You're going to get in a car and ride 8.5 hours with me and stay in a hotel at a conference, even though you may not have ever met me. And we're going to be best friends, just so you know. So no, Beachbody is not a pyramid scheme. They do not guarantee any amount of income. If you don't work If you don't reach out to people, if you're not taking care of yourself and putting your fitness and health first, you can't help anybody. And that's just the truth in anything you do. If you're not pouring into yourself, you can't pour into others, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. And that's something that I have really learned through this business. So starting this January, I won the Beachbody Challenge. I was able to take that money and give it to someone that needed it. It was a complete blessing for me, and I know that it was a complete blessing from God that I was able, and I'm not bragging, that's not a brag. That's me just saying that I have been given a platform, and I am able to use that platform to better the cause of Christ, but also to better myself and to show people that it's possible. And I get to extend love to someone that may not have had the support that she needed. We rounded up as a team and we raised money for her, and I was able to match that money and to give it to her. And that was incredible, incredible. So in this January, we run groups, and I was able to start my Women in Christ group. Y'all, that group has grown to almost 2,500 women from all over the United States, from all walks of life, from all religions, from all backgrounds. We have created subgroups. We have a like page. We have an Instagram. It is amazing, amazing. And all because I decided to take care of myself. All because I decided to put myself out there and chose to share my truth with someone else. Someone who may have been telling themselves the same lie that I told myself forever, that I wasn't worthy, that I wasn't going to go anywhere, that I was just a stay-at-home wife, that I wasn't, going to be anything more than Zach McGilvery's wife and Reese's mom. But I had a desire, and I still have a strong desire to be so much more than that, to take what I'm doing right now and turn it into such a family and grow so big that I'm not only able to help my family financially, but that I'm able to pay it forward and help others see that financial freedom. Yes, it's work. Yes, it takes time. Yes, it takes putting yourself out there and being vulnerable, but it is so worth it. I have met some of my very best friends at almost 26 years old than I have met in my entire life. The most genuine women I have ever met. The most die-hard, crazy, best, I can't even describe, just wonderful people that I have ever been blessed to meet. And I would have never met them if I had stayed and been scared. I didn't have the money at the time. And I was living on a prayer, literally, because if my husband had found out it was on a credit card, I would have been in massive trouble. Now, I'm able to pay for not only my Shakeology every month, I'm able to pay for my husband's Shakeology every month, and we get an extra box every month. And that's not bragging. That's just the truth, because I reach out to that many people, and I want to pay this forward, and I want people to see that it's not a scam, that I'm not just in it because I want your money. Because honestly, after the first transaction, I really don't get much from you besides your friendship, and besides your accountability, and besides, you coming alongside me and saying, let's do this together. So don't think that I'm becoming rich quick because I'm signing all of these people. That's not how it works. There is no quota. There is no inventory. You don't have to reach anything if you don't want to. You can simply be a discount coach and get your Shakeology on a discount, or your performance line, whichever you choose, or anything else for cheap. You get a 25% discount. You earn commissions when you help people. But it requires much more than just signing people up and just turning them loose. You have to invest the time. You have to invest in them. You have to let them see how important they are, because someone did that to you. And if they haven't, come talk to one of the coaches that invited you, because I promise you that we have not become successful in this business simply by signing people and telling them bye. Maybe at one point that's how it was, but we have all learned that this business is about people. Our mission is to help see lives change, to end the trend of obesity, to reach out to people that are in such a vulnerable place and not really allowing people in. It's not because, we're here for the money. The money is nice. It's a bonus. But I'm here for the people. Katie Carter's here for the people. Nicole Wilson's here for the people. Tiffany Siegfried's here for the people. Tiffany Bell's here for the people. All of you other coaches that are tuning in right now, you're here for the people. And if you're not, you're in the wrong business. So that's a little bit about my story. There's a lot more to it. And I will say that this year has been one of the very hardest years of my life because I've had to do a lot of proving myself. I've had to back up what I say and continue to see results. And when life got hard, when I went through my miscarriage in April and May, I had to dig down deep and find where my priorities lay. But you know what I had? I had a support system. I had a group of sisters that surrounded me and said that they were praying for me, that offered to come and help with anything that they could, that texted me and checked in on me and really lifted me up in one of the hardest moments of my life. That's not something I have ever found anywhere else. And I have always been a social butterfly. So, know that. It's a sisterhood. Sorry guys if you're on here. I don't really work with men, so I don't really know much about the brotherhood, but I'm sure that there is a man here that can talk to you about that. So I'm going to answer some questions really quick because I know that we need to close up so we don't keep y'all all night. Is this a pyramid scheme? I've already explained that. No, it's not. Because there is a swapping of goods and services. It's not me simply signing you up for something and you don't get anything in return from me. You're not getting any kind of service. There's no quota. There's no inventory. It's simply what you need to take care of yourself for the month. And for me, that's Shakeology. I drink it every single day. On the days that I don't, I can definitely tell because I am a little bit cranky. I don't know. What does coaching do for you? I've kind of explained that coaching has basically changed my life. It's changed my relationship in my marriage. It's changed the way that I am driven about things. It has changed my passion for the future. It's changed my hope for the future. It's changed the way that, I interact with other people. I have so much more compassion for people. I have a lot more grace most of the time. There's sometimes I don't. But I have changed from the inside out, truly. Do you have to be in shape to be a coach? No. I was about 65 pounds overweight when I started. Yesterday, when my husband and I were doing our measurements and our before pictures for this round of what we're doing, I'm doing 21-day fix, he's doing hammer and chisel. I'm officially 2 pounds below my goal weight. What do you have to know to be a coach? You don't have to know anything to be a coach. You have to have a heart. You have to want to see change in yourself first. And you have to be willing to pay that forward when you start to see those results. You have to be prepared to love on people and prepared to put yourself out there and be a little bit vulnerable and share those things about yourself. Like for me, eating disorders, finding nutrition, finding a sisterhood, finding, being blessed with so many different things. You have to be able to share just a little bit about yourself so that people can see who you really are, not just who we pretend to be on Facebook, which I think kind of gets us with the whole MLM business. What drives us as coaches? What drives me as coaches is every time I sign a challenger on, I get their weight or their starting measurements and their starting before pictures. What drives me on is at the end of their round, taking the pictures that they send me afterwards and taking the measurements that they send me afterwards and being able to show them a comparison of where they were and where they're at. And if they haven't seen much change, they're not happy with the results, then we go in and we tweak something. We don't ever stop working with each other until they decide that they don't want to work with me anymore. And it's all about, I'm here, but you have to engage with us. I can only reach out to you so many times and get crickets so many times before I stop reaching out because I just feel like you want me to leave you alone. So know that. If you're busy, that's fine. Send us a message and say, hey, I saw this, I'm going to get back with you. And if I don't hear from you in a couple of days, I'll send you a message. I'm going to chase you down because I'm committed to seeing your results. Will you train me what to do? Yes. Whenever you sign on as a challenger or as a coach, you are placed with a very knowledgeable coach for the most part. And if your coach is new, she's fresh, he's fresh, she will be placed with her upline coach. And y'all will have trainings. There will be groups that y'all do together. You will work on things together hand in hand. You will not be forced to do anything by yourself. And if you are, you need to have a talk with your coach because they need to be helping you get through this. That's their job. Not all of us are nutrition gurus. Not all of us are personal trainers. We are normal people. We struggle with eating French fries and chocolate ice cream just like everybody else. That's my favorite. But we're here. So ask your questions. Don't be afraid to shoot us a message. Don't be afraid to post in groups if you're in a group and just say, hey, I have no idea what this means. Can someone help me? Or, hey, has anyone found a recipe for this? This is a recipe that I found. It's a community. And when you enter into those groups that we put you in, that's for you to build relationships with women that are in the same place as you. That's for you to step out of your comfort zone just a little bit and, share things that are working for you. Encourage other people the way that you want to be encouraged. And that's the way that it works. It's an interaction. It's not just you post and there's nothing going on in there. It's a way for us to stay accountable in our fitness and for us to show you a little bit about how we do things and how meal prep works and the kind of recipes that work for our families and the way that we schedule things in our day, how we get up and how we, go through our mornings, when we have Shakeology, how we mix Shakeology, because I drank Shakeology for an entire month and thought it was the most disgusting thing I've ever drank, but I paid money for it, so I was going to drink it. True story. Okay. How do you build a business? Building a business takes time. It takes patience. It takes diligence. It takes consistency, which I think might be the same as diligence. It takes putting yourself out there continually, even if you're not getting anything in return. It takes being vulnerable. It takes talking to people. That's a big part of it. I'm a not super introverted, but I'm an introverted person. I have social anxiety disorder. So it makes me I start having heart palpitations almost when I have to message people, when I feel like it's ingenuine, I don't know how you say that. When I feel like maybe my point's not coming across the way that I mean for it to. So you have to get real with yourself. You have to be the product of the product, which means taking care of yourself first and just sharing what has worked for you. And people that come to mind, because maybe they struggle with that too, helping them when you can. Can you do it and find balance? Yes. I went through an entire year of college, entire year and a half of college, raising a newborn almost by myself, traveling with my husband in and out of state, and I run my own business now. It is balanced, but you have to choose your priorities. You have to choose what you're going to give up. If that's whatever's holding you down, cleaning out your pantry, turning off the TV, and doing your workout at night if you can't get it in the morning. Taking time to take care of yourself. And just really remembering where your priorities lie, what your goals are, because your priorities are going to line up with where your goals are. Let's see. What have I been able to do throughout my journey? Throughout my journey as a coach, I have been able to talk to women not only about health and nutrition, but about real life stuff, marriage issues, changing all kinds of different things in their lives, from relationships to how to raise their kids, to how to grow in their walk with Christ, to how to run a business from home, to how to travel and find balance, all kinds of stuff like that. What is my goal with my business? Okay, I'm going to show you this right here. Hi. My face is red. So this is my little vision board. It's kind of small, but let me see if I can pull the picture up. Personalize. Picture. Oh, it won't pop up. Okay. Well, this is my vision board that is saved onto my desktop. Here you'll see retire Zach. That's my financial goal. Then you'll see some quotes. Then there is a Disney little icon right there. I would love to be able to pay in full for my family to go to Disney. Down here you'll see a beach. I would love to be able to reward my coaches with an exotic diamond retreat. I would love to take the ones that are really plugging into this business and really working to change lives on some kind of you know, awesome retreat to thank them for all of the hard work that they're putting in, because I can make money on my own. But as a team, we cannot grow if I don't have a strong support system growing around me. And it's not, Beachbody is not a pyramid scheme, because anyone on my team can surpass my success. So I could be 1-star diamond for the rest of my life, and I could have a 15-star diamond, which doesn't make any sense to you, but it's a level of achievement. You have done so much and you have helped so many people that you get so many stars as people on your team start to grow with you. But those people on your team can far surpass you like that if they're just ready to do it. One of my goals is that my team is going to be one of the top 2,000 by the end of this year. Currently, we are sitting at 4,000 something, so we've got a little bit of work to do, but we're growing and we're changing, and the best part about it is growing and changing means that we are helping other people make changes in their lives. We are a support system for someone else, and that is ultimately the most important. Okay, finally closing up. I don't know if any of y'all are still on here. I have terrible connection is what it's saying. So I'm going to close up with a little story about how I got my nickname Zipper. So when we went to Nashville to the Beachbody, it's called Beachbody Summit. It's a huge conference, and it was in Nashville this year. Next year it's in New Orleans. And I drove, and Nicole Wilson, Katie Carter, Tiffany Siegfried, and Tiffany Bell were all in my car. Okay, well, I'm kind of an aggressive driver most of the time, and I was driving my mom's car, which is a lot bigger than mine. And as I was, we were in Arkansas, and we were driving, and the roads in Arkansas are probably more terrible than the ones in Oklahoma, surprisingly. But we were driving, and nobody was merging. And the one thing my mom has always told us while she was driving in traffic is that when you merge, it's like a zipper. You let one person in, so I was like screaming, "It's a zipper, people, it's a zipper." So since then, that's how I got my nickname, Zipper. Katie Carter, I'll go ahead and explain for everybody. Katie Carter, being the country girl that she is, came prepared to protect us. She was packing heat the entire time that we were on the trip, and we were so thankful for her because we were so out of our element. So she is now the heat. Tiffany Siegfried is a maybe 5 foot tall. She's a very petite little woman. So she got her nickname Tiny Tiffany. And then Tiffany Bell is like the southernest, that's not a word, but she is Southern Belle through and through. Nicole is La Bella Mafia because she's kind of gangster. So just a funny thing that we made up nicknames for each other, and that's how we address each other, because we have Katie, Tiffany, and then Nicole. But that is closing. Thank y'all so much for coming and showing up in our Beachbody live training, coaching opportunity. We are so blessed to get to share our stories with y'all, share a little bit about our journeys, our families, and just get real. I hope that y'all have seen that we are not just slimy salespeople, that we are genuine women working to really make a change in this world and to really impact people in all different areas and in all different ways. If you have enjoyed this, please let your coach know that you enjoyed speaking to them, the person that invited you. Please let them know that you enjoyed listening. We are going to do a little bit of wrap up here. Anybody that has questions, feel free to post them in the comments in the group. What else? Oh, and we're going to let people know here in just a second. We've got to go through and tally up and see who won the prizes. And I will be mailing those out tomorrow. I'm super excited and so thankful for all of your participation. I hope that you learned something. Most of all, I hope that you just love us and we become best friends, so we can give you cool nicknames too. But I hope that you guys have a great evening. I'll talk to you later. Bye, y'all.